think I've got a little bit of me in every character, though. I have to, you know. Yes.
Would you indulge with an Ichigo impression?
Would I indulge you?
Yeah.
With an Ichigo impression?
Yes.
Kind of sounds like this. Rukia, why do your drawings suck so bad? It was like one of my favorite scenes. Seeing her terrible drawings. Yes?
Back to Power Rangers and Turbo.
Turbo, yes.
How did you feel about having to bring your hair out?
And who's seen Turbo Power Ranger movie?
Oh, I've seen it.
Okay, so you have it. All right, now, if you haven't seen it, I have longer hair in Turbo, and it wasn't my choice. Okay, I didn't choose to, hey, can I look like Brandon Lee from The Crow, but like worse? They wanted me to grow my hair out, and I heard the reason they wanted me to grow my hair out, and I don't even know if it's totally true, was because Jason Frank was leaving, who has long hair, and they want to fool kids into thinking I was Tommy. So I heard. I don't know why, but that's what they said. And the funny thing is, like, with Jason Frank, you know, his hair, his long hair, they would, like, in the morning spend like hours just getting it nice and straightening it and all that good stuff, right? And my hair, they just let it be a poof. Like, I look like Peter Brady, you know, after like years on crack or something. I didn't do anything. It's just like, hey guys, I got long poofy hair. So yeah, there you go. Who hasn't asked a question? You? Yes.
What's the most awkward situation you've been in an audition?
Most awkward situation in an audition. Most awkward. I don't know, actually. Because I usually, once you start doing a bunch of auditions, you just kind of like, yeah, as soon as you're done, you just don't think about it. Because they're always very uncomfortable. I don't really know. I mean, I could tell you, when I auditioned for Power Rangers, we had to go in, and at first, I mean, they did a cattle call, so they had auditions like throughout the U.S. And where I was in Texas, they had like thousands of people there. And so I was there, and they bring us in 20 at a time, and they was like, you, get back in line, the rest of you go home. You know, so I made it the first cut, which was like they were going, okay, you look all right. And then the next one was, let's see if you could do martial arts, gymnastics, or acrobatics, or dance. And so then mine was like Shaolin Kung Fu, so I'd do some flipping and kicking and stuff like that. So I did that, and I made it. You know, a buddy of mine tried to do like break dancing, but he's an awkward white guy, can't really dance, and he didn't make it. And then we had to read a bit of dialogue, and so I got a bit of dialogue. It was like a paragraph, and they said, "All right, come back in a couple hours, you know, and then we'll be reading through." And so I went home and got lunch. And back in the day, it was, I mean, it's cool now, I guess, to have tight jeans again, but it was like really cool to have tight jeans, you know, where they fold it or whatever at the bottom. And I did that, you know, because I was like, I've already done all the martial arts, I'm not gonna have to kick or anything, I just have to talk. So I go back, and I'm in there, and there's like 5 guys and 1 lady. And the lady looks very nice, like she's smiling, she seems like somebody I would be like, oh, she's friendly, you know, but the dudes all the guys were like, like no smile at all, and like I could not look at them because I was afraid of them, because they all looked like evil, crazy, hateful, angry people. And so I go back in, I read my bit of dialogue, and then they're like, okay, great, can we see you do that flippy kung fu stuff that you do? And I was like, oh, I think in my head, I got these super tight jeans on, you know? And I'm thinking, I can't get my kicks higher than this, you know? And I got to do the same routine I did. And I was just like, I'm just gonna do it. Whatever happens, I'm just gonna keep looking at the lady and smiling, you know? And that was seriously, that's in my head, that's what I'm gonna do. And I did, I started doing it myself. I was like, I felt like that's what I felt like in my head, you know? Like I was just doing this. That's all in my head. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't do anything. And then as I stood there, I smiled the last time, and they said, okay, thank you. I was like, oh, okay, all right. So I thought that was it. A couple of weeks later, you know, I get the call to audition again in California. But that was probably the most awkward, uncomfortable. But there are a lot of times that's just the way it is. And I think another one I could tell you about, I didn't get a role in, was Thundercats. I got called in for an what? Lion? What? And I was like excited, and I got myself too excited. Like as I was walking in the door, I was like, Thundercats! Like that, you know? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, oh boy, I shouldn't have said that. Oh, they're not gonna, there's no way I'm gonna get through this. I'm too excited, you know? And I totally blew the audition. I was like, yeah, all right, Thundercats. Oh, you know. So, made myself look like an idiot. But, you know, you have to get over those things if you're ever gonna make it. You just have to realize you won't book everything. You do have to make a fool of yourself, yes?
What's the most awkward thing that's ever happened to you at a convention?
Most awkward at a convention?
Oh, Lord.
I think it was Alabama or Arkansas. One of those with an A. I was there. It was a big crowded room. And I'm answering Q&A. And a group of girls are giggling over here. And I see hands go up and I point. And they're like, so, are you afraid of being raped by fangirls?
I am now.
That was my answer. I am now. So, yeah, okay. The back door was over here. That was awkward. I can tell you another one's kind of awkward. I was doing an autograph session with Jason Frank, and we're signing stuff. And this kid walks over and he's like, hey, will you sign my leg? I'm like, okay. You know, a lot of the times people don't have something, they have to sign their leg or their shoe or something. And I turned to say something to Jason Frank, and I turned back, and there's a prosthetic leg on the table in front of me. And he's like this. And I was like, oh, I better sign this fast. Put that back on. That was kind of weird. Because Vash, you know, if you don't know, he likes donuts. And you guys know where, like, donuts, if you get donuts, they have that plastic cellophane. It's clear, you can see the donuts. And somebody gave me some donuts like that, and I call them sweaty donuts because there's like dew on the cellophane. She's like, here you go, got you some donuts. I was like, oh, okay, thanks. She's like, go ahead, eat them. You said you were hungry? I was like, oh yeah, you know, yeah. I'm gonna eat them soon. And she just kind of sat there and stared at me. I felt bad for not eating them, but dude, they look sweaty. Yes?
Could you give us an It's Morphin' Time impression?
It's Morphin' Time?
Yeah.
No. Alright, well, what time is it? What time is it?
5:30.
Oh. What time is it?
5:30.
It's Morphin' Time! See?
Thank
Were
you.
you ready? Did you get it?
Yeah.
Alright.
Thank you.
It's pretty cheesy the way I did that, wasn't it?
Yeah, whatever works.
Yes? Lelouch was, in the end, I mean, it's one of my favorite characters, really is. And it was, man, favorite line? I'm a frog. I'm a frog is probably my favorite line. You got it right there, don't you? Yeah, you got the wristband, I'm a frog. Do you guys know where that's from? The Power, who saw the first Power Ranger movie? Alright, cool. Well, if you didn't, let me just ruin it for you. Basically, we're like superheroes that wear spandex. Well, except for the movie, they're like muscle suits. We lose our powers. We have to find our inner animal strength, spirit, or whatever. And so everyone gets really cool ones, like the wolf, the falcon, the ape, the bear, you know? And so mine was a frog. And in the script, Like, you know, she'd go through, and the script was different. The script said, Adam, you're a frog. You're agile and fast, you know? And the original script, my character had a ton of stuff. But one of the other Rangers complained that I had too much stuff. And the next script, they got all of my stuff, and I had nothing. So I was kind of bummed out. And we were doing this scene where she's going through, and Adam, you're fast and agile. And I asked the director, I was like, hey, can I just be bummed out? Because frogs aren't really that fast, and it's kind of like a lame spirit animal. Like, really, what is it gonna do, like lick people? And I'm the crotch of the Megazord, come on. Give me a break here. And they said, well, let's do it like the script says first, and then we'll try it your way. And so I got to try it where she's like, Adam, what's wrong? And I'm all bummed and sad faced. I'm like, I'm a frog. And then she says, yes, a frog, like a, whatever. One the kind you kiss to get a handsome prince, right? Which still doesn't make sense as a power, right? Because like when I have to fight, do they have to kiss me? In order? Doesn't make any sense. That's my fault also. But that's the only line that I guess I feel like I got to say bite me. I added bite me in Bleach, and I kept that. But yeah. Okay, this is a true story. Do you guys have homeless people here? Yes. Okay. Good. I mean, not good that they're homeless, but you'll understand. All right, so have you ever been driving in your car and somebody's on the corner asking for money? Okay, so you'll relate to this then. All right, so when I come home from work or whatever, I have to exit, you know, take the off ramp from the freeway, and then I have to make a left to get under the overpass and head home. And usually at this light, Topanga Road is what it's called. At this light, there's always like some homeless dude there with a sign asking for money. And in my car, it's always kind of weird because I'm in my car and like, you know, they're there somewhere, you know, and I don't know how far back I am, but it's just kind of weird and awkward. So I usually just pretend like I'm listening to music. If I'm not, just ignore them. And so this one day, when I exit the off ramp, you know, I'm about 4 or 5 cars from the light, and it's a stoplight. So there's 4 or 5 cars in front of me, and this monster truck pulls up behind me. And I can't see the person inside. It's got a tinted window, but it's just towering above me. You know, it's so big. I could see its tires in my rear view, you know? And all I can think of is like, monster madness, you know? And I'm thinking, as soon as this light turns green, I better start going, or this guy's gonna run me over. Because I can hear just like rumbling my car. And so I'm sitting there, and I had these carrots in a Ziploc bag that I had left over from lunch, and I'm just eating them. And as I'm eating them, I look over, expecting to see some homeless guy there that I'm gonna have to ignore. And I look over and I see a homeless woman. And I felt bad, like my heart went out to her. I was like, a homeless woman? Oh, I've got to do something, you know? And so I just finished these carrots, and if you've been to LA, I mean, it might be the same here downtown, but in LA you have to pay for parking everywhere you go. And so my cup holders are full of quarters, you know? So I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm just gonna scoop up all these quarters and put them in the Ziploc bag. So I scoop up all these quarters, grab all of them out of the cup holders, I put them in the Ziploc bag. It's like 2 or 3 pounds worth of quarters. And I'm thinking, she's gonna change her life. This is what she needs, you know, to be able to have a future, you know, and get up off the street. And so I roll down my window, and I haven't done this before, giving money to a person that's on a corner while in my car, so I don't exactly know how it goes. So I roll down my window, and I hold this bag of quarters out like this. And I like it, so she's like 4 or 5 cars in front of me, so maybe from here to that middle exit sign door or whatever. So I'm looking at her, pull this out like this, and she sees me, she has got her sign, and she puts her sign down, and it's this. I'm like, wait, what? Am I supposed to get out? I haven't done this before, so I don't know how I certainly can't throw that far left-handed. I'm just land right there. And so I'm just freaking out like, wait, what am I supposed to do? This is so confusing. I thought she would come and get it, you know? And as I'm like trying to figure out how I'm supposed to get this to her, the light turns green. The 4 or 5 cars in front of me, they just take off. And because I have that pressure of that monster truck growling behind me, I just start going, you know? And I'm approaching her at like 20 or 30 miles an hour now. with this 2 or 3 pound bag of quarters, and I'm starting to freak out. Like, how the heck is this exchange going to happen? I don't know what to do here now. You know, this is worse than me just sitting there. And so I'm thinking, what am I going to do? Do I just throw it in her gut like this? Or she's like, oh, got it. Like a football player? I'm like, no, wait a minute. What if she hangs on to it too long and pulls me out of the car and I die? You know, what if I don't let go in time and I drag her under mine and me and Monster Truck runs her over? So I'm freaking out, like, what am I going to do? And then I get this moment of clarity, this epiphany. So I'm a martial artist. And I think, Johnny, just focus. It's all about timing. All you have to do with this 2 or 3 pound bag of quarters at 20, 30 miles an hour is this. And you'll watch it gracefully land into her hands. So as I'm approaching her at 20 or 30 miles an hour with this 2 pound bag of quarters, I do this. I'm like, okay, Johnny, ready, and now. And I release. Just like that. And I don't know if you've been in an accident.
Oh, God.
But anytime you're in some kind of an accident or a tragedy, time slows down. And in my mind, I think that as I did this, and now, I think God was up there and went, wait. Hit the pause button, played it slow, and said, Jesus, Moses, grab the nachos, come here, you gotta see this. And so, as I'm here, I release this bag of quarters, 2 3 pound bag of quarters at 20, 30 miles an hour, like this. And I watch it in slow-mo fly through the air. It was beautiful. I watch it fly through the air and smack her in the face.
Oh,
2 pound bag of quarters at 20, 30 miles an hour. Smacks her in the face. The bag rips open. The quarters fall, glistening in the sunlight. This is a true story. All I could do, the only thing I could think to do is this. No! That's all I could do. I'm going so fast that I only have time to like turn the wheel and screech around the corner like I just did a drive-by quartering with some homeless woman. She went down. I'm sure Mr. Monster Truck is like, dude, you're supposed to get out of the car. I couldn't turn around because it was this weird thing where I couldn't go back to see if she's alive or okay. So I just kept driving. It's like, why? Like the whole time home. I guess like 15 minutes from there to my house, I'm like, why did that happen? All I wanted to do was like change her life. Probably did. It's a true story. Before that day, there's always been a homeless person. After that day, never again. That's not a lie. I've never seen a homeless person there again. Because I drive by there all the time, hoping that I will see her so I can say, hey, sorry about the quarters. I've never seen her again. And my theory is that they all meet under a bridge somewhere, you know? Meeting by this fire, barrel or whatever, and like, hey, where's Sarah at? Oh, you didn't hear? She's dead. Some guy killed her with quarters. We had just enough to bury her. So, that's me. Now you think I'm an idiot, right? So the lesson, kids, don't give money to homeless people while driving your car. Yes. Any questions?